The question came up the other day, what would a recorder sound like if you turned it into a flute? Well, the easiest way to find out is to convert it into a quena. This is a quena technically, they're both in the same key of C, and you can see that the recorder contracts the length by having a conical bore. It gets very narrow down this far end, so saving it an inch or so in length, and then it sticks this windway onto the end to lengthen it. But we can turn this into a quena by cutting this end off and just leaving it from where the window starts on down. Be much the same in terms of how you blow it, except for a couple of things that affect it badly. But I don't want to cut anything off this because this is a nice recorder. So what I actually did was I blocked off the windway with blue tack and the window, and then poured liquid silicone rubber down here, which is now this solid bit that I extracted from there a few hours later. You can see on this the light catching the flat section on the top, which is the underside of the ramp. So it's a lot longer underneath than the one on the top. And you can also see it projects out from the bore. So it's away from the cylindrical shape. But fairly simple shape. Fun little bump just here, which you wouldn't know about unless you make a mould like this of it to find it, but it is actually in the real instrument. It's not just an artifact of a silicone mould. So what I then did with this was I put a sellotape tube around it, a cylinder, locked off at the bottom as well with sellotape too, so I could pour liquid resin down there, and that solidified into this, which I then had to extract this from as well. And there's my quena head for the recorder with tuning slide. So what does it sound like? I'll just play the recorder again for a moment. Just line it up. Right. And now as a flute. And the quena again, or quenilla. That bottom note's pretty nasty. Maybe because the bore is very narrow down this end, the lower notes don't sound so well. The higher ones are pretty good. But it could work as a flute. It's playable enough. I'm having difficulty finding the right angle to... I'm just not used to this specific instrument yet. I could probably play it better with time, but that gives an idea of what it can do anyway. And it still has a recorder-like characteristic to it. But the other thing I did when I was experimenting with this was block off the end. Oh, wait, shouldn't have taken that off. I blocked off the end of blue tack. And introduced my own windway, which is a much narrower slot from side to side anyway. Maybe up and down it might be very similar to recorder, but it's just that bit narrower. And if I fit that in here, I can then, it's falling out, it's loose, so I'm not going to be able to play it well. I might get a few notes out of it. Can't play the lower notes because this is too loose, but that gave you an idea of the quality of note. Still sounds like a recorder, but a lot quieter. Anyway, so I think it's worth making one of these just to have a quieter head for a recorder, so you can play it at night without disturbing people. Whether you'd want to play as a flute, I don't think it's optimised for that. With this, it just goes a bit too narrow down here, and I think that's spoiling the tone of those lower notes. Maybe a design that's a bit less severely conical would work better and still sound recorder-like. But I'll stick to quenillas, I think. But yeah, as a whistle head for the recorder with the windway, the fipple, that's worth having. So I'm going to make this into a proper one. It'll be a nice addition to this, and I might make an outer mould so I can do it properly and colour the resin the same shade of brown. That's a nice project for the future. Anyway, over and out for now.